Welcome to Dr. Charlotte West Stadium here in Carbondale. It's the 2026 Missouri Valley Conference Softball Tournament. Game 1 of 3 today as Northern Iowa, the 4th seed, gets set to take on the 5th seed Illinois State Redbirds. And we take a look at the starter for UNI, Laura Leonard. Scout Warman with you as Ashlyn Inke will get the start for the Cats.
Yeah, she's going to be somebody that's going to move the ball around, hit different quadrants. She's got some good jump to her pitches and going to try to keep these Redbirds off balance.
There you see the numbers for Ashlyn this season for UNI. As we are underway, and the first pitch misses for a ball here at Dr. Charlotte West Stadium. 190 down the lines, 220 straightaway center field. Chilly day, and we will get warmer as this weekend progresses here in Southern Illinois.
I think both of these teams are used to this, and the 3 times they met earlier was up in Northern Iowa. It was cold and blustery, so they're used to this weather.
Lauren Flowers, the leadoff hitter, the left fielder, grounds out to second to get us started. In fact, when we take a look at that starting lineup for the Redbirds, it's a presentation of St. Louis Union Station, home of attractions like the St. Louis Aquarium and the St. Louis Wheel. You can do it all at St. Louis Union Station. See where it takes you by visiting stlouisunionstation.com now.
Well, you see Bella Atkinson, who is stepping to the plate right now, highlighted right there, but she is a player that has hit very well in conference play against Northern Iowa in that 3-game series. She was 6 for 12, so likes their pitching, and both these teams used a lot of pitchers in that series, so they kind of know each staffs very well.
Bella, a 40-40-40 player this year, for over 40 hits, 40 runs scored, as well as RBIs, and one of a very few players in Redbirds history to do so. Lines this one to right field, going back, it's off the wall, and heading towards second is Atkinson, sliding in safely with a 1-out double.
Got a little breeze up there and heading out to right field, and that one I think did get up into the jet stream as it went right to straight right field. Callahan looked at it, tried to get back on it, but it hit at the bottom of the fence, and Atkinson turns and goes for 2, but Callahan did a great job of corralling that ball and getting it in very quickly.
Morgan Calhoun will now step in as she is the designated player for Tina Kramos's Illinois State Redbirds.
You know, and hitting is something that the Redbirds have really focused on this season. It's something that Coach Kramos said, you know, we really wanted to build from last year, work on that hitting. Yeah, we still practice defense, and we do all the things we need to do, but the concentration has been in at the plate, and they certainly have worked hard, and the numbers that they're showing this year, it has paid off.
And the 2-0 delivery is in there for a strike. 3 meetings between these two teams. Northern Iowa came out on top. It was Illinois State winning the opener in 8 innings, 8-6, but then Northern Iowa came back, won 10-5, and then a wild one that we'll talk about, 24-16. And a riser swung on a miss by Calhoun, and the count goes to 2-2. 24-16 was the final. Northern Iowa was down by 13 runs and came back and won.
Well, they have been in a lot of high-scoring games this season where they have put up huge numbers like that, have had big innings, exploded for huge numbers in innings, and so they are never out of a ball game, even if they get down, and obviously down 13-0, able to come back and win a ball game.
I think he was in the circle to start this one against Illinois State, did pitch in that series against the Redbirds. Fouled off again by Calhoun, hanging in there at 2-2, went 5 2/3, giving up 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and had 4 Ks in her lone matchup earlier this season against Illinois State.
Calhoun struggled a little bit against the Panther pitching, 1 for 9 in that 3-game series. Battling here at the plate, trying to get that first run of the ball game in. Want to get something maybe to the right side of the field, move that runner over to third.
He misses with that one, and they say yes, went around for the strike call. So the strikeout first of the day for Inky. All right, let's take a look at the defense for the Northern Iowa Panthers. It's made possible by Gatorade, created to hydrate better than water.
They're really good throughout the outfield, and right up the middle, they are very strong as well.
And the ground out, and the runner is left stranded at second as we have played a half inning as we're just started with the 2026 NBC Softball Championships.
Credit Union One, the exclusive credit union for the Missouri Valley Conference, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Oh, this is tough.
Really tough.
Tough? I'll give you tough.
No, we meant that's tough.
Oh, that's too tough even for me. You need, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Just file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks.
So do you ever take that mask off?
Not even for my wedding.
Oh, she looked so happy.
We're good.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What does it take to be the best? It takes determination and collaboration to take that extra step, to never stop, working to be the best doctors in the country, medical experts listening and getting to know you. St. Louis to Warrenton, Mount Vernon to O'Fallon, Bridgeton to Fenton, because no matter where you are or who you are, we're always there when you need us. Together, we care.
Back in Carbondale, Illinois State, and Miss McLeod is one of the best in the business in the Missouri Valley Conference. She'll be in the circle here today.
Yeah, she's going to keep the ball down in the zone. She's got a good drop ball, a curve ball, and a changeup. Got a little screwball as well. She mixes it up, and coming back off of a little bit of an injury. So we'll see how she looks here today through the first few innings.
And, well, it doesn't get too easy as she faces the Player of the Year in the Valley to lead things off for Northern Iowa. Skylar Benish named the Player of the Year earlier today. Second baseman for the Panthers. As we take a look at their starting lineup, presentation St. Louis Union Station, home of attractions like the St. Louis Aquarium and the St. Louis Wheel. You can do it all at St. Louis Union Station. See where it takes you at stlouisunionstation.com. 1-1. As there is that lineup for Ryan Jacobs in his 19th season at UNI. This lineup, folks, can score runs. Runs aplenty.
There is no easy out in that lineup. It is very tough to get a clean inning against them and get a 1-2-3 inning because they are so powerful. They can hit to all fields. They can hit the ball out, obviously. Led the conference in home runs this season, but it is a very tough hitting lineup.
Good pitch by McLeod. 2-2 the count.
Kind of just handcuffed Benish that time.
Did.
Got in under the hands and wasn't able to get the arms extended, couldn't make the adjustment at the plate.
Benish down the line, and they're going to say foul ball.
Well, Atkinson comes up throwing, and midway through the throw, heard foul ball and kind of let up on it and threw a little dribbler. Looked like my arm over there at third base, throwing it right into the ground.
Overcast skies and cool temperatures, and right now, looking at the flag out in straightaway center field, the wind is blowing straight out. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the afternoon and evening hours with the first of three here this afternoon from Dr. Charlotte West Stadium here in Carbondale.
Well, with that swing by Benish, you can see the kind of power that they generate. They do not get cheated on their swings. They are up there ready to swing away, and they are going to give it everything they have. They generate so much bat speed.
And this is outside. The count goes full to 3-2. 16 home runs and 46 RBIs for the Player of the Year in the Valley.
Just really kind of developed into this great player a year ago. Kind of felt like she needed to prove that she belonged in the league and with this team, and has really upped her game this season.
And she'll pop out to left field to Lauren Flowers for the first out. We take a look at the ISU defense. It's made possible by Gatorade. Created to hydrate better than water. There you see the Boyer sisters as the double play combination with Coach Kramos, as Flowers, Larson, and Wolford. A terrific outfield. And again, McLeod in the circle.
Yeah, they like to have that tandem up the middle. Sisters at short. They aren't twins, but they call them the twins. And they really combine for twin killings is what they do.
And a line out to left field, and Flowers is Acton swinging on the first pitch. And 2 up, 2 down. And now last year's Player of the Year stands in. So it doesn't get any easier for Paige McLeod or whoever's going to face this UNI lineup. As Laura mentioned, 1 through 9, they are tough out.
And you just have to be careful how you pitch these hitters. You kind of have to look and study tape and see if you can find any holes in their swings and try to exploit that. You know, but Lappy is a player that goes in and works on her own every day. She has a kind of a little bit of a routine that she'll work on how she's hitting and what she wants to work on off the tee, off the machine. She just really has her own process, and whatever she has done, she probably needs to patent it because it's worked really well for her throughout her career.
20 home runs this season, just the second UNI player ever to hit more than 20 home runs in a season. And 56 RBIs to go with those 20 home runs. 1-1. Strike call, 1-2.
You know, she gets up there at the plate. She kind of crouches down, but boy, does she uncoil when she swings the bat. If she gets a pitch she can handle, she is not going to hold back. She will certainly try to drive it.
And drives this one out of play right side. McLeod facing Northern Iowa 2 different times. First one was the start, 7 innings, giving up 9 hits on 6 runs, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts, but also was a part of that 40-run barrage between the 2 teams where she went 2 2/3. I think everybody pitched in that game. And that one, just misses outside. I think Paige wanted the call, but couldn't get it from our home plate umpire for today's game, Mike Hers.
And you kind of early on test those outer limits of the strike zone, see where the umpire is going to be calling that. Now you know you've kind of set those boundaries and you work within those.
Fouled off by Lappy. We'll do it again. Cleanup hitter is Caitlin Callahan. Stands on deck for Northern Iowa, trying to get their first base runner in this first inning of play. Inside, and the count now goes full to 3-2.
Now that's one thing with this Panther lineup. They are very patient and disciplined at the plate. They get a lot of walks, and simply because they know they are the power hitters, and the pitchers are going to be very careful, so they have that discerning eye, and they can tell ball from strike.
Fouled it off again, staying alive. And not only tops and walks in the Missouri Valley Conference, but heading into this week's action, tops and walks in the entire country.
And that's a sign of a really disciplined, good hitting team, that they have pop at the plate, but they don't swing at bad pitches.
11th delivery, and it is a strike call on the inside corner. It's a 1-2-3 inning as we head to the top of the second here in Carbondale. The conference softball tournament is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. To the second inning we go at Dr. Charlotte West Stadium in Carbondale. It is game 1 of 3 in our opening round action. Northern Iowa, the 4th seed, taking on the 5th seed, Illinois State Redbirds. 5, 6, and 7 coming to the plate against Inky here in the ISU half of the second inning. Julia Larson leading things off, the center fielder from St. Charles, Illinois.
Well, we just went through a scoreless first after all of our talk about runs being scored. Never a clean inning when you're facing the Northern Iowa lineup, and they get them out 1, 2, 3. So as prognosticators, we weren't very good.
Typical. It's kind of like when we jinxed the free throw streak, right? Larson was 4 for 12 in the series against UNI earlier this year. Here's the 3-0.
Well, you want to try to, you're leading off the inning, figure out a way to get on, be that leadoff hitter to start some kind of a rally, put a little pressure on the defense.
Now the count goes full. Inky doing a nice job of getting back into the count.
That's what you have to do. You got to battle back. You can't, it's hard to fall behind for either of these teams, fall behind these hitters.
Alive. Changeup was fouled off once again. We'll do it again at 3-2 to Julia Larson, the leadoff hitter in this second inning for the Birds.
We have seen some battles already on both sides. These hitters not backing down, spoiling pitches.
Fouled it off, and we'll do it again, which is interesting. And again, we're just an inning plus into this, but remember, we're doing something here that we haven't done in a decade in the Missouri Valley Conference Softball Championships, and that's double elimination. Been doing single elimination for the last 10 years, and it'll be intriguing to see as a leadoff walk is handed to Larson how these coaches handle the pitching with the double elimination. All right, let's get your keys to the game. It's brought to you by Credit Union 1.
Well, for Illinois State, they need to play clean in the 3-game series. They had some errors that cost them and gave up some runs, and then they need to make the adjustment at the plate when Northern Iowa goes to the bullpen. And then for Northern Iowa, they want to have fundamental defense as well. It's all about defense for these two teams. They got to play it clean and no mental mistakes. And then for Coach Jacobs, he said, and he was referencing that 3rd game of their series where they got down 13-0. He said, I kept telling them, stick with the plan, stick with the plan, stick with the plan. And that's what they did. And so he's carrying that over into this ballgame. Stick with the plan. What got him here, continue to do it.
Folks, discover better banking for all with Credit Union One, the official deposit partner of the Missouri Valley Conference. Learn more at cu1.com. Hannah makes the first baseman. 2nd team all-conference, as was announced earlier today. Handles first base for Coach Kramos and takes that one upstairs. And the count is 1-2. Larson, the leadoff walk here in the top half of the 2nd. No score, Birds and Cats. Game 2 coming up after this one. 3rd seed Murray State, 6th seed Evansville. And this one is lifted into short center field. And getting back is Smith and making a throw over to first. But Larson gets back to first just in time as Sakura Smith covering some territory out there in short center field.
Made a really athletic play. That was one that was kind of getting ready to fall in between center field and shortstop, but what a reach up top, and then turning around, making that throw over to first to try to get the double play.
Now the freshman, Ava Boyer, the 2nd baseman, teamed up with sister, as we mentioned, in that double play combination this year for the Redbirds. And rips that one foul. Boy, she had that one timed out perfectly.
Yeah, she kind of loaded up on the back end and then just let loose. Turned on it a little too quickly. And Illinois State's a team that they don't steal a lot of bases. They rely on moving those runners, rely on those hitters at the plate.
Pitch upstairs, 1-2. Open stance for the freshman, who had 3 doubles against the Fighting Illini of Illinois earlier this year.
They put her in the lineup early, and she kind of took hold of that position and has been that steady force all along, defensively and offensively as well. She's kind of stepped in at 2nd base and solidified that spot.
And a little nubber over to 2nd. Benish gets Boyer, and Larson advances to 2nd, but there's 2 away.
Yeah, that was almost a little inside-out swing. Got her in on the hands and kind of muscled it out. Had a little spin to it, so good job by Benish to be able to charge that and get the ball over to get the out.
Now Ella Boyer, the sister, lines this one into right field, but not over the hands of Benish, as she'll grab the final out. Another runner stranded for the Redbirds after 1.5, no score. Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte designed to hydrate better than water. And folks, just as we mentioned, game 2 coming up at 3 o'clock Central Time as we continue our coverage. The Valley on ESPN, the MVC softball tournament. It'll feature the 6th seed Evansville Purple Aces and the 3rd seed Murray State Racers. We'll be right here in Carbondale. Tom Ackerman and the Hall of Famer Holly Hussey will give it to you at 3 Central Time. Aces and Racers coming up in game number 2. Paige McLeod back in the circle for her 2nd inning of work, facing the middle part of this UNI lineup as she had a 1-2-3 first inning.
Only 18 pitches in that first inning. All the batters she's faced, first pitch strikes.
Caitlin Callahan, the right fielder, all conference. Sophomore from Wisconsin, had 6 hits in the wild three-game series during the regular season between these two teams.
I mean, you look up and down the lineups for both of those teams that third game, everybody was getting a hit. You know, I think maybe the umpires were credited a hit. Some of the people in the stands were credited, trainers, everybody. I mean, it was a hit parade, and yes, it was a little windy up there at Northern Iowa, but by no means does that take anything away from that game. These two teams can hit.
Northern Iowa, when you look at just the team stats across the Missouri Valley Conference, they are right at the top or near the top in just a number of different categories. This one is ripped. That one goes to the wall. And it is a leadoff double for Callahan as she is the first base runner for UNI, her 14th double of the season.
Boy, a line shot, and it certainly shows you just how this team hits. Good adjustment at the plate. Gets the barrel of the bat on it, drives it right into the gap all the way up against the fence, and Panthers are starting something here with this leadoff double. She's been the most consistent for them all season long. It's kind of been a nice surprise for Coach Jacobs.
Ava Smith, in the center fielder, now stands in. Smith, who missed some time earlier this year, and talking to Coach Jacobs before the game, said it was a big boost for his team to get Ava back in the lineup.
Yeah, first inning of the first game of the season, she dove for a ball, broke her hand, couldn't even get to take her first at bat of the season, had to sit out for 6 weeks.
McLeod missed on that one. 1-1. Callahan, the runner at second.
As a defender, you always have to be thinking, what am I going to do when the ball comes to me with that runner on base? How am I going to play it? What's the next play ahead of me? What am I going to do? And so you got to be aware of, look at what's being called as a pitch, make your adjustments, get yourself into position.
Yeah, that one fouled off late on the swing. Count at 1-2.
A good job of just spoiling that pitch. Got the bat out there and just punched it into foul territory. But doing a good job trying to get it to the right side to move that runner over to third.
This one is skied into center field. Larson is there, and obviously with the short fly out, runner Callahan will stay at second with one away.
I think Callahan was dancing a little off of second base, thinking, do I advance? Do I go a little further? Do I go back and tag up? She stayed pretty close to second base, and you're right, wasn't deep enough to really do any kind of damage to be able to move up a base.
Sakura Smith, the shortstop, in the 6th slot in this UNI order, takes the first one outside. Also with 4 hits against Illinois State in the meeting earlier this year in the series. Found out this morning she also received first team honors. In fact, 3 of the 4 infielders for UNI, part of the all-conference first team in the Valley.
Fouls that one off of the inside of her foot. That one, gonna have to take a few steps to walk that one off.
There you see Sakura with 10 home runs this season. And that's just 4th best in this UNI lineup.
Right, and hitting in the lower part of the order as well. Now again, you go back top to bottom. There's not an easy out. They all have power, 1 through 9.
2-1, 3-1.
Bayla Bogner trying to frame that pitch, trying to see if she could get the call. Brought it back in, but did not get the call, so move into 3-1.
Infield, outfield straight away to the right-handed hitting shortstop. 3-1. And it is chopped to short. Boyer will get the second out.
Boyer doing a great job over there, because that one, she backed up on it. It took that bigger hop, came right to her, able to look the runner back and make a good throw to get the out. That could have been a little dangerous. Those are one of those in-betweeners where do I charge it? Do I back up?
Yep.
And she played it perfectly.
Peyton Johnson, the left fielder. Big addition to this UNI squad coming from Kirkwood Community College and adding even more punch to this potent lineup that we've seen a lot of returners from last year's team coming back again this season.
Coach Jacobs says she always gives them quality at bats. She is very steady up there at the plate.
Good pitch by McLeod and evens the count at 1-1. Callahan with a leadoff double stands at second, 2 away here in the bottom of the second, no score. As Laura mentioned in the open, you can expect some fireworks in this one.
Yeah, 1 hit for each team, no score. They're sizzling right now. They're just the fuse has been ignited. Things are going to start popping here. Johnson hitting .343 with runners in scoring position, so she's one of those clutch hitters. When you put a runner out there for her to drive home, she usually does it.
Just missed on the inside edge. 3-1. Drew Hendricks, the catcher, on deck for UNI. 2 away. McLeod, and that one is grounded to Boyer, bobbles it, throws over to first, and not in time. Great hustle down the line.
That little bobble, that cost her out there at short, and it was tough because the runner was going in front of her. Maybe caused her to take her eye off of it a little bit. And there's a throw you can see just made it across before the throw came.
And we're going to get our first review of the week here in Carbondale. Susan Eads is our first base umpire, and Antonio Flores is the third base umpire for our first game this afternoon from Dr. Charlotte West Stadium here in Carbondale. As we'll take a look at the replay once again. And that is
wow,
really, really close.
That's about as close as you can get it. I thought initially a runner was there, but now you look at that, I don't know if her foot's down on the bag. Scott Wagner is our replay official. And that one is going to be his first test of this tournament. That one is so close.
Well, as I always said for many years, and no matter if you're collegiate, pro level, whatever, it has to be absolutely conclusive to turn over an original call. And this one, I don't know, maybe we get a better look at this shot. Great job by our crew here. You can't see where the ball is in the glove on that shot there, unfortunately. This is the best shot from center field. Back of the glove, and is her spike on that base?
I don't know if there's enough there to overturn that. Do you?
I don't think so. It's so close. I mean, it's like millimeters. All right, we'll get the official call here.
A good hustle down the line to be able to beat that out, put runners at the corners.
So now, can the Cats get on the board to do some two-out damage in the bottom half of the second with runners at the corners? The catcher, Henrik, stands in.
Henrik's battled injury all last year, had labrum surgery on the hip in the offseason, and still kind of working her way back from that. But in a spot here to give her team the lead right away.
Drives this one, and it is going to drop down to right center field. One run will score, rounding third and heading home, and save. Great base running by Johnson as the Northern Iowa Panthers get the first two runs of the contest.
Bottom part of the order producing runners at the corners, and Johnson, first base, crack of the bat, she's off. She's taken flight and hits that corner at second base, and Coach Jacobs sends her home, and they cut the throw. Not sure if that would have been there or not, but they do cut the throw, and that gives the Panthers a 2-0 lead.
And here's the freshman third baseman Finley Netton standing in. As Lappy started the season at third base as her original spot, but Coach Jacobs during the Valparaiso series during the regular season moved Kate over from third to first, and Netton's gotten an opportunity to play a regular duty over at the hot corner.
Yeah, she's still learning it. She was a shortstop in high school, so moving over a little bit and having to learn a few different fundamentals at third base, but settling in nicely. They just wanted her bat in there. She has provided nice power at the bottom of the lineup and can get that lineup turned over back to the top.
Cloud ahead 1-2. And it evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 away, 2 runs have scored in this second inning for Northern Iowa. Henrik's the runner at first.
And making the most of their opportunities with 2 outs. Again, just a defensive mistake kept Northern Iowa at the plate, and they capitalized on it.
Fouls this one off.
If you're Illinois State, you're thinking, all right, we got to get out of it right now. Can't allow this rally to continue. Want to stop the bleeding right here.
Boy, Netton's got a beat on it. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
They've continued to work her on the outer part of the plate. See if they change things up and try to jam it inside.
Goes inside and fouls it off and stays alive. Skylar Benish, player of the year on deck, the leadoff hitter for Northern Iowa. Panthers have plated 2 here in the bottom of the second to take the lead. And this one is popped up, and the catcher there has it, but the Northern Iowa Panthers get on the board. We played 2, and they're up by 2. Big hit by Hendricks to give the Cats the lead. And the 2026 Missouri Valley Conference selections are made possible by Great Southern Bank. Understanding what really matters. Member FDIC has announced the all first team in the Valley earlier this morning.
A lot of Panther players on this first team. You had mentioned it. A lot of Illinois State players represented there as well. Good group of players representing the Valley on that first team, and a lot of really good players in this league.
So Ashlyn Inky heads to the circle with the lead at 2-0. 9-1-2 due up for the Illinois State Redbirds.
And this is where you have to think, if you're Illinois State, all right, just one at a time. Just try to get one back at a time if you can.
Sky to right and out number 1.
Top of the lineup with Flowers. Coming in, she's on a 6-game hitting streak.
Yep.
9 for 21 during those 6 games, looking to try to keep that streak alive.
Grounded out to Benisher first time up to lead this game off at Dr. Charlotte West Stadium in Carbondale. Redbirds have won 6 Valley titles, but it's been a while since they've won a championship. You have to go back to 2012. Last time ISU took home the tournament championship in the Valley. Grounder to third, and the freshman fires one across the diamond for the second out.
Got on top of that, and Netton moving over quickly to get in front of it, make the strong throw. But, you know, going back to Illinois State, you're right, they've been a prominent program for many, many years, battled for titles. But one of the things that jumped out at me is that Illinois State, and this is going back to the all-conference team, it had 119 first-team All-Missouri Valley Conference selections in program history. That tells you a little bit about their program and the kind of players they bring into this program.
Of course, Coach Kramos taking over for Melinda Fisher, who was there for so many years in the Twin Cities.
They just honored her earlier this season, named the field after Melinda Fisher, had a big ceremony. A lot of the alumni came back and celebrated. You look at Tina Kramos right there. I believe she just got her 100th win as a head coach back in April 10th.
Against Indiana State. There's a strike from Inky.
Just continuing the tradition that Coach Fisher had built up.
Atkinson, a tough out. 3-1. And strike call, and it goes full, 3-2.
Atkinson thought she had the free pass.
I did too, actually.
I did too.
And the changeup is grounded over to second, and it's a 1-2-3 inning as we head to the bottom of the third in Carbondale.
When change and uncertainty define the times, it's good to anchor to your roots, to honor and nurture them, to remember how it all started, and let that help build the future. Because we know a strong future is built on a solid past, and that past promises mean future follow-through. You can trust us to protect what you grow, build, own, and value. Trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual.
Since 1907, we've been One Valley, united institutions with common goals, breaking down barriers and building up communities, and nurturing the next generation of leaders who care about more than just wins. MVC student athletes are leaving a lasting impact in the places they call home by sharing diverse perspectives and fostering a climate of unity for future Valley pioneers. We are One Valley.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
All right, we get to today's State Farm MVC Scholar Athlete of the Game. It's Northern Iowa's Kate Lappy, the senior infielder from Iowa. Last year's MVP in the league, has a 3.69 cum GPA in accounting, and was a 2025 College Sports Communications third-team academic All-American. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. To the bottom of the third we go. And to the top of the order as Paige McLeod facing the top of the order for the second time.
McLeod has been very good about getting ahead in the count. Now 8 of 10 first pitch strikes and has 43 pitches, 27 of those strikes. So she has been around the plate in the zone. Just had one little defensive bobble, and the Panthers took advantage of that.
Skyler leading the league with the average heading into the tournament at 451. Cloud misses with that one, then the count goes to 1-2. Skyler flying out to left in her first AB of the tournament. Ooh, good pitch by McLeod and just missed. 2-2.
Yeah, great pitch, great location, and great discipline by the hitter to not go after that pitch. That's one where you get yourself out if you try to hit that into play, but she was able to lay off of it.
Change up, got her. Good pitch. Boy, I love the sequencing there by Paige McLeod against one of the toughest hitters in all the Missouri Valley Conference. Good stuff.
Yeah, you could just see how she moved the ball around, this time up under the hands. The pitch before was down low around the knees, but all pitches on the inside and very tough to adjust to try to get the barrel on the ball.
Bryn Acton lined out to left field, her first plate appearance. Now the winner of this game today in our first will take on the regular season champion Belmont Bruins tomorrow at high noon here in Carbondale. The team that falters in this first game will be back at it again this evening in our third and final game. Again, double elimination tournament in the Valley this season.
And a lot of talk from the coaches is how they're going to approach the double elimination, how you're going to handle your pitching staff. It's just a little bit different strategy than what you have when you're in a single elimination tournament. Talking to Coach Jacobs, he said, gosh, I tried to think when was the last time I was in a double elimination tournament. Those are regionals in the NCAA tournament where you play in that first round, and if you get beat, then you have to come back through. And he said that is the last time, as you look at Coach Jacobs, that they've been in that situation playing, and so you have to kind of change your mindset.
1-2, 2-2.
They're staying away from Acton. They're working her out and away, and she's a player that I think they've been a little bit surprised by her power numbers this year.
7 hits in the series against ISU. She fouls that one off. 5 of the 7 went yard.
She had 8 RBIs in that third game. She was 3 for 6 in that game, in that football type score game, 24-16. She was 3 for 6, scored 3 runs, had 8 RBIs.
The 18 home runs are the most by a freshman in UNI history. This one is to Ava Boyer and flips it over for the second out. 2 up, 2 down.
McLeod this inning has been masterful. I mean, it really has, the way she's locating pitches and moving the ball around. She got in on the hands of Acton that time, and she couldn't get a good swing on it off the handle and over to second base, right to Boyer.
And now last year's MVP, Kate Lappy, takes the first one for a ball, 1-0. Remember her at bat to face McLeod for the first time here today, went 12 pitches. Not only hits a lot of home runs, but walks a lot as well. And this one is ripped. That's going to go to the wall in left center field, and she'll round first, and she'll have a 2-out double in the UNI half of the third.
She got a pitch up that she was just able to level it off. And look at that strength and how she's able to extend. Splits the gap. Goes coasting into second base. Feeling pretty good about it. Showing off those muscles.
Remember, it was a 2-out rally for 2 runs for the Cats in the second inning. 2 outs and a runner on, and a foul tip. That was an excuse me foul tip there by Callahan. Callahan scored the game's first run. Good pitch. Yeah, as you mentioned, McLeod was very sharp here, despite the 2-run deficit.
And, you know, for the Birds, you got to think, okay, they rallied on us last time we had 2 outs. We have got to be very clean defensively here and get out of this inning.
This one into left, and it is going to drop. And Lappy, great job of running right through third base with 2 outs and will score the 3rd run, as it is an RBI double for Callahan, and it's now a 3-0 lead for UNI. Well, that thing was just floating, and I thought maybe for a minute Flowers be able to make the grab. She had to go a long way. And just dropped in front of her and then got past her, and that gave Lappy the ability, if there was going to even be a play at home, there was no chance.
You know, and I think Coach Jacobs was sending her the entire way. Even if Flowers would have fielded that cleanly, there would have been a play at the plate, but that ball just stayed down and it skipped by Flowers' glove.
So again, another run scored with 2 outs for UNI. It's 3-0. Smithton to the plate. Line out to center in her first at bat last inning. So after retiring the first 2 batters, McLeod gives up a double to Lappy and then another one to Callahan, as UNI has tacked on another run here in the 3rd. And this one is lifted into center, and Larson's there for the out. But the Cats score again. We played 3, and they have a 3-run lead. The 2026 Missouri Valley Conference Softball Tournament is brought to you by Credit Union One. Discover better banking for all with Credit Union One, the official deposit partner of the Missouri Valley Conference. Learn more at cu1.com. We played 3 innings in Carbondale, kicking off the 2026 Missouri Valley Conference Softball Championships. And the 4th seed Northern Iowa Panthers with the 3-run lead over 5th seed Illinois State, as the Redbirds bat in their half of the 4th inning. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Redbirds, as Morgan Calhoun struck out her first time up, as Miss Enke is in her 4th inning of work.
43 pitches for Enke, 25 strikes. She has also been around the strike zone, getting ahead of the hitters. 6 of the 11 batters, now 6 of 12 first pitch strikes. So both these pitchers doing a really good job of attacking the zone, working ahead in the count.
Redbirds had a base runner in the first and stranded, one in the second and stranded, as Calhoun swings through that pitch. And Enke had a 1-2-3 3rd inning, as the meat of the order is out for ISU, trying to get something going offensively, down by 3 runs. And Calhoun, nice job, didn't chase that pitch, and the count goes full at 3-2.
Enke bringing it with pretty good pace. We got notification from Holly Hesse. About 60 miles per hour is what she's throwing out of the circle.
5-3 put out to get things started in the top half of the 4th inning.
Yeah, Coach Hesse down there in the stands, going to be on the broadcast in the second game. Once the coach, always the coach, looking at all the analytics. Sent me a text.
Tatum Wolford, the right fielder, stands in. Beautiful pitch by Inky. Changed things up there and gets a strike one call.
Wolford coming back from injury. Missed some games out that 3rd game at Belmont until the Bradley series. So they had some injuries kind of all together. Had a little bit of a losing streak that they went on, able to right themselves in those last 2 games against Bradley, the final series of the regular season. But those injuries kind of put a stop to what they were doing, and they needed to find their momentum again.
1-2 to Wolford on the way. Fouls it straight back.
You know, it's tough when you have one player that is injured and out of the lineup, but when you have a couple of them, it compounds everything, and you're having to put players in different positions. But they had players that stepped up when those players were out. Taylor Liebelt stepped up and played very well in that reserve role.
And a single. 1-out single going the other way is Wolford. Nice piece of hitting. Down 2 strikes. So the Redbirds have a base runner on in their half of the 4th inning.
Got a pitch that was on the outer part of the plate and just took it right between first and second. And if you're Illinois State, you're thinking you certainly have to get one here in this inning.
And over to short. Nice play by Smith to get the runner hustling down the line. Larson was picking him up and putting him down, and it's a great play by the first team all-conference shortstop.
It was that slow roller, and she charged hard. Boy, very close over there at first. Illinois State already had challenged one. Prior to that last base hit, Enke had sat down 7 in a row, so she was dealing out of that circle.
Enke finds the outside edge for a strike. 1-1 to Hannah Meeks.
Second team all-conference Meeks. Does some double duty at times.
Oh, pickoff play down to second. And Calhoun gets back safely.
Don't want to be napping out there on the bases. And you certainly don't want to make the 3rd out on a pickoff play. Got to be on your toes.
2-1 the count to Meeks. 2 away. And that one just foul. Meeks doing a nice job of hitting right there. Just trying to place it down the line where it was pitched on the outside edge.
Well, again, you have the 2 outs, and so crack of the bat, you're on your horse. You're going and not stopping. And Wolford got a good jump and probably would have scored if that would have been fair.
And Hannah staying alive. Wolford the runner at second, 2 down. Top of the 4th. And this one flied in down the line, right field, and right there to make the grab is Callahan. So another runner stranded for the Redbirds as we played 3.5, UNI with the lead. Time for our game recap, a production of Explore St. Louis. 2 out hitting the key for UNI here, Laura.
Yeah, it really has been. They've taken advantage of a couple of mistakes and gotten the key clutch hits. Drew Henricks with a couple of RBIs to start Northern Iowa off. And then in the 3rd inning, Kate Lappy gets on. And good base running by Lappy as Callahan knocks her home.
That was the 3rd run of the game, and that's where we stand after 3.5. Paige McLeod now into her 4th inning of work. And folks, start planning your St. Louis trip to see the Gateway Arch, City Museum, and other attractions now at ExploreSt.Louis.com. Smith, the shortstop, who just made a nice play defensively, will lead things off as the 6th place hitter, facing McLeod. Yeah, I'm telling you, Paige is just missing that inside corner. I mean, literally just missing it.
Yeah, it just needs to bring it in, and you can look at runners with scoring position. Redbirds have not done what they need to do when they've had a runner out on second base, and the Panthers have. Smith, her first year at that shortstop position and doing a really nice job of adjusting to it, stepping in and playing that. Looks at a 3rd strike right there, a good pitch. And again, McLeod locating pitches so well and getting hitters out.
That is the 2nd strikeout, excuse me, 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Paige. The 2nd one looking, which is both the same, right on that inside edge against the right-handed hitter.
Yeah, that is a pitch that she has gone to a couple of different times here in this ball game, and it's working for her. She's got the zone down. She knows exactly where to place it.
Peyton Johnson, the right field, or left fielder, excuse me. Reached on that air over at shortstop to get that 2-out rally going. Did a great job of base running with the double down the right center field area of Drew Henricks and scored all the way from first base.
And that's just kind of understanding what's in front of you, what the situation is, where the ball is, knowing personnel in the outfield. Can you take that extra base? It's knowing the scouting report.
That one lined down the left field line.
Wow.
And well, that thing just kept carrying, obviously foul, but man, oh man. It just kept lifting.
I know, and it was a laser. I mean, it just kept flying out there, but it just curved enough, but it hit right at the top of the fence.
5 home runs this season for Johnson. That one fouled off. Again, Northern Iowa working Paige McLeod, fouling several pitches off, but McLeod has really been on her game here this afternoon.
Yeah, I think this might be one of the best games that she has pitched all season.
That's right up the middle with a 2-strike hit for a single.
Boy, McLeod couldn't get the glove down quick enough. That was right back up through the middle, had a shot at it. As it heads back out to center field. This is why you have to be on your toes as a pitcher. Good effort by Boyer. We're gonna get a pinch runner, it looks like, over there at first.
Brindley Slockett will come in and be the pinch runner, designated runner, we should say, for Johnson. And now Hendricks, who has those 2 RBIs with the double to plate the first 2 runs of the game for Northern Iowa. And again, 1 away here in the 4th inning, trying to add to this 3-run lead. This one lined into left center field, and that's going to go to the wall. The designated runner, Saka, will be stopped at third, and it's a stand-up double as Hendricks 2 for 2 this afternoon.
Boy, is she seeing the ball here today. Wasted no time. Liked the first pitch, and just, again, another rope into the gap. And that ball's a little bit down, but she's able to drive it. One hops the fence. Runners at second and third now.
Well, as Laura pointed out, damage being done by this UNI bottom half of the order.
They have been very productive. They have a player that in netting. Don't be surprised here. You got some speed over there at third, a player that can handle the bat pretty well. See if they try to pull a surprise in this at bat.
Infield is in. Netton takes the first one for a ball upstairs.
On the infield, if it comes to you, you're going to look at that runner. If they're going on contact, you're going to try to throw her out. Otherwise, you're looking her back, and you're going to get that out over there at first base.
1 away. And this one skied, and it goes right into Meeks' glove for the second out. That is a huge out for ISU.
That's twice they've been able to get in on the hands of Netton. She popped out to the catcher her first at bat. You can see this ball's inside, and she knew it, that she was not able to get a big part of that bat on it. It was in off the handle and popped it straight up.
All right, let's see if there's another 2-out tally coming via the Northern Iowa Panthers as we go to the top of the lineup, and the best in the business in the league. Benish hacking away at the first pitch from McLeod.
There's just no breathing room. You think, you know, you back up the defense to regular spots on the field, and then all of a sudden you look and you're at the top of the lineup and you have to face Benish, who's hitting .423 with runners in scoring position. So a clutch hitter from that top part of the lineup.
One ball, 1 strike. 2-1. Slockett, the designated runner, is on at third. Hendricks, the runner, at second with the double. 2 down. Northern Iowa trying to add to their 3-run lead in this bottom half of the 4th inning. Benish sitting on 46 RBIs this season.
A huge moment in this ball game right here.
And grounded foul, 2-2. Can McLeod get out of the jam?
Well, ahead in the count. Threw a really good pitch to Benish the last time. Got her looking. Benish, the type of player she is, probably didn't like that too much and is going to try to make that adjustment. So this is certainly a quality matchup between these two.
And went outside with that pitch, and the count goes full at 3-2.
As a pitcher,
Bryn Acton on deck.
in pitcher, you take that deep breath and you go, hey, I'm going to give you my best. I'm going to see if you can hit it.
Fouled it off. We'll do it again at 3-2.
When she had a rip at it.
Yeah. Let's see if McLeod tries to go back inside. She's had a lot of success with that pitch on the inside edge against these right-handed hitters today. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll do it again. Foul it off.
And that was a swing. She was trying to launch, that launch angle. She was trying to hit it out of the ballpark. Got on top of it and fouled it straight down. Again, a good quality at bat, fouling those pitches off.
Hennish fouls it off once again, and we'll have another 3-2 pitch coming from Paige McLeod in this bottom half of the 4th inning. Northern Iowa trying to add to their 3-run lead in our first game of the 2026 MVC Softball Championships here in Carbondale, Illinois. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. And a pop-up. Atkinson is there, and McLeod gets out of the jam. We head to the 5th, and Illinois State coming up as they trail it by 3.
Credit Union One, the exclusive credit union for the Missouri Valley Conference, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCAA.
Will you be there when I need help, just like State Farm?
Forget what we told you. It ain't worth squat. It doesn't make a difference if you're happy or not.
Need a lift? Stop living on a prayer and get State Farm.
Oh, now we're prepared. Whoa, State Farm is there. State Farm is there.
It's not every day you get to pet a slippery, slimy jellyfish. Unless you're at the nation's most interactive aquarium. Here, you can experience ocean life in real life. Feed real fish. Come face to fin with real sharks. Spark real wonder at every turn. With interactive exhibits, it's wow at first touch. For the kids and for the kids at heart. Come for the nibbles, stay for the giggles. Come visit the nation's most interactive aquarium, only in St. Louis.
College softball fans, tune in to watch the NCAA Division I Softball Championship Selection Show on Sunday, May 10th at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Visit ncaa.com/WCWS to download the bracket for game and broadcast information. That's ncaa.com/WCWS. To the top of the 5th we go. Redbirds, the 5th seed against 4th seed Northern Iowa, as it's 7, 8, and 9 coming up. The freshman Ava Boyer will lead things off for Coach Kramos. Illinois State Redbirds, they're down 3-0. Paige McLeod get in out of a huge jam there in that last half inning. And now Boyer slams this one deep in the left, off the wall. She'll round first, heading to second, and slides in safely with the leadoff double.
Boy, just missed. I was calling it a home run, but it just was right off the top of the fence. And you're right, you get out of a jam like that, that gives you a little momentum. And Boyer drives one to just increase that momentum and that feeling in that dugout. See if the Redbirds can get a little bit closer.
You just missed that one by just a few feet. Now her sister Ella stands in and takes the first one for a strike. Getting into her 5th inning of work. Has only allowed 3 hits. Ashland, changeup, beauty, strike.
You know, these hitters are hyped, they're ready to go. Swinging at first pitches, and then you throw them a little off speed. Second time here for Illinois State. Get that leadoff runner on. They're hoping that they can do something with it.
0-2, and this one is going to just go over the outstretched hands of Smith, and Ava Boyer will have to hold at third because she was waiting to see if Smith was going to make the spectacular grab. Couldn't do it, but the Boyers get on base to start things off in this 5th inning with runners at the corners and nobody down.
Smith made a great effort out there at short, and you're right, it had to hold up Ava Boyer because she wasn't sure. Little stop-start right there, and then goes. Reading it perfectly as a good base runner. Nope, yep, go. Get him right there at the corners. Now, what do you do here? Do you try to move that runner along? Do you steal second, get 2 players into scoring position? Or, if you're UNI, do you go ahead and throw through, get the out, give up a possible run by throwing through?
Paige Rummins coming in as a pinch hitter.
See how they play this.
And there's a strike call, 0-2. Rummins 250 this season. Squaring around, pulls back, takes that one outside, and the count goes to 1-2. Rummins does have a home run and 2 RBIs. Ava Boyer at third, Ella Boyer at first, nobody down. And this one skied into left center field. And then gets it, and tagging and scoring the first run is Ava Boyer as the Birds are on the board.
Manufacture that run. That's what you want to do. Take advantage of that leadoff double. Advance on the next hit, and then you can see Boyer right here getting back, tagging up, waiting till the catch. Takes off perfectly, and they cut the throw. They give up that run, but keep the runner at first base.
Good job by Rummins to get the sac fly and help the Birds get on the board here. Now a grounder up the middle, and that's going to squeeze through into center field. Flowers with the single up the middle. Now runners on at first and second, and Illinois State for the first time here has got some stuff going and rattling against Ashley Enke.
Northern Iowa has had some action in their bullpen. They have been warming off and on throughout this game.
Morgan Verts is the hurler that's in the UNI bullpen warming up.
Everybody has their little groups. Talking about strategy, base running strategy, defensive strategy, and this is at a time in this ball game where you just want to make sure everybody is on that same page.
Illinois State has equaled the amount of base runners just in this inning compared to the first 4.
You know, a lot of times it's all about momentum. Talk about hitting, stringing hits together. Hitting's contagious. And the Birds have a hitter up in Atkinson in MVC play, hitting over 400.
Their best hitter and one of the best hitters in the league. Enke. And that one is blocked, and the runners will advance.
That's big. That is big. That ball in the dirt, bouncing away from Henricks. Now that base hit ties up this ball game. Just bounces and then has some funny spin to it as it bounces away.
Atkinson lifts this one into center field. 1 run will score. They'll hold the runner up at third. Now caught between first and second, but there's nobody over at first. And it's another RBI hit. And it's now 3-2 as the Redbirds come storming back in this 5th inning.
Well, the runners move up, and that little base hit gets them another run. This would have been probably bases loaded, runners with that base hit, but because of that ball in the dirt, you get a run out of that.
And it looks like Mr. Jacobs is going to go to his bullpen for the first time today, and that will be it for Ashlyn Inking. We've got a pitching change here in Carbondale as Illinois State storming back here with the fifth. Brought to you by Rawlings, the official softball of the Missouri Valley Conference and the NCAA Championship. Rawlings, the mark of a pro, as we have our first pitching change in the circle for you and I here today.
And Morgan Wirtz is coming in out of the bullpen. And, you know, one of the things I asked Tina Kramos, I said, how do you approach this pitching staff? And she said, everyone coming in out of that bullpen is a little different. We're going to see some different things, different spin from these pitchers. So we have to make that adjustment at the plate. And so that's going to be one of the things that the Redbirds are going to look at. They're going to have to take maybe a couple of pitches to see what they're going to get from Wirtz.
Calhoun steps in, 0 for 2, grounds it to first, knocks the ball down. Lappy does a great job and gets the put out and looks the runner back at third. Great play over at first by Lappy.
Kept her eyes on the runners. Did advance that runner up to second base, but she was able to knock it down. And there is where you'd like to maybe see Calhoun just stop and make Lappy come to her and come make that tag, see if they could maybe sneak a run across.
Wirtz finds the strike zone to Wolford. Wolford 1 for 2 today. Single was stranded at second in the last inning. Wirtz finds the strike zone and gets ahead 0-2. Flowers the runner at third. Atkinson the runner at second. 2 down.
And that's what you want to see out of your pitcher coming in from the bullpen, going right after these hitters, throwing strikes.
Go around, yes. Wirtz gets out of it, but the Redbirds get on the board. We got a ball game, folks. 4.5. We have played here in Carbondale. 3-2, Northern Iowa with the lead. The 2026 Missouri Valley Conference Softball Tournament is brought to you by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Contact a Grinnell Mutual agent near you for all your home, farm, auto, or business insurance needs. Bottom half of inning number 5 in our first of 3 games of the opening day action of the 2026 Valley Softball Tournament. Good one, 4 versus 5. 4th seed Northern Iowa with a lead of 3-2 over the 5th seed Redbirds of Illinois State, who have just plated their first 2 runs in the top half of this 5th inning. Brent Acton, second place hitter, designated player, will lead things off for UNI, followed by Lappy and Callahan.
That's kind of how the 3 games in the regular season went between these 2 teams, and that one team would jump out, the other team would battle back, the other team would jump out a little further, and they'd continue to go toe-to-toe.
This one skied into left, back to the wall, gone!
Well, that's how you make a statement. You give up those 2 runs in the top part of the inning, and you come back, and Acton showing off those muscles, flexing a little bit, but that's a big momentum changer in this ball game.
19th home run of the season for the freshman.
Just punched it out there, got it up.
Wasn't even a full swing follow through.
And that, we talked about it, that the power numbers have been a little surprising for Coach Jacobs. Even her family said, boy, she never hit like that over the last couple of years. And so the power surge is on for Acton.
And now the home run leader Valley Conference steps in.
That's 6 home runs that she has hit against Illinois State.
McLeod has a count of 1-1 to last year's Player of the Year.
Just to kind of wrap things up with Acton against Northern Iowa, 8 of 18, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs.
That's it?
That's it. All in a day's work. So feels pretty good about facing Redbird pitching this season.
2-2.
Looks like we might have a little action starting in the bullpen down there for Illinois State. Looks like it might be Hannah Meshnick getting loose.
Lappy fouls that one straight back. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. McLeod has surrendered 4 runs on 7 hits, but also has had to work around a couple of errors behind her in today's contest.
She's just, I mean, she has been really good in this ball game. She has just hit spots, able to get Lappy to strike out.
That's her 4th punch out. And talk about fighting back after giving up a home run.
That's a mindset you have to have if you're a pitcher. If you give up the long ball, you got to forget about it. Put it behind you, move on to the next hitter.
Now Caitlin Callahan, who's 2 for 2 today. Doubled and scored in the 2nd. Singled back in the 3rd. Picked up an RBI with that single and an air out in left field. And McLeod finds the outside edge of the plate for a strike.
And she's still dealing. She's still hitting the spots, moving the eye level. Doing her best to keep this potent lineup off balance and guessing. Let's go a little further out on the corner, see if she can get her to go fishing after a pitch. But again, we know this Panther team is very smart at the plate. They know how to work walks. They know that they don't go after bad pitches. They're very disciplined.
1-1. Change up, beauty.
Again, staying away from Callahan. Just so much power in this lineup.
Tried to get her to go chasing on that outside pitch, and she held up, and the count goes to 2-2.
Kind of the same sequence, just nipping the corner, getting the call, then moving it a little further out.
We'll do it again.
And she knows they're going to stay away, so she's got to look out there on the outer part of the plate and try to take that pitch into right field.
Again, 4 runs on 7 hits, but I mean, at least in my eye, she's really been in command all afternoon despite having the 2-run deficit against Northern Iowa. And got her on the inside pitch. Strikeout number 5, second of the inning.
I had her looking away, away, away. They just kept going out there, and then all of a sudden come in on the inner part of the plate. And she swings right over the top of it.
2 down, and that'll bring Ava Smithson, the center fielder, to the plate. Ava has flying out to center field in both their trips to the plate. Pops this one up, and foul.
Had some rain overnight, and I don't know if that was Hannah that went sliding in there.
Couldn't see. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And
it's a little wet and a little slippery around the edges of this field, and she is trying to go after that pop-up, making chase, and right here, right at the edge of the dugout, her feet go out from under her. Lands very hard. You can see kind of the skid marks over there from the cleats right at the opening of that dugout fence, and one of those things you just kind of have to get back up and shake it off and be ready to go.
strike 1 call to Smithson, and a grounder to third. Atkinson is there, but the home run, the leadoff home run by Acton, has given Northern Iowa the 2-run lead after 5.
LFA is the title game of the 2046 Missouri.
It's finally got on the board there in the 5th inning. Can they carry this momentum into inning number 6, down by 2?
Well, they're hoping that they can have another start to this inning, get the leadoff runner on, and see if they can get that momentum going again, string some hits together.
As it started with the Boyer sisters getting the rally started, they were the two runners that scored, and then went to the top of the order with a single by Flowers and Atkinson to make it a 3-2 score. But the Acton home run in the top half of this inning, and it's now a 2-run lead for UNI. All right, let's take a look at the list of tournament champions win this event. The Valley Championship has held here at Dr. Charlotte West Stadium. There you see Southern Illinois. 2023, 6 championships. Wichita State back in 2016. And the Redbirds, remember, that was their last championship they have had in the MVC tournament back in 2012 here in Carbondale. Seeing if that magic from 14 years ago could carry forward and get a rally here in the 6th. Verts now into her first full inning of work for the Panthers.
And for Northern Iowa, you're right, that home run was so big because at this point in the game, you're looking for the insurance run. That one extra run, it gives you a little bit of a cushion, and they got it off the bat of Acton.
Larson leading things off, fouls it off.
Have to be smart at the plate, battle, as Verts has got 2 strikes on Larson.
And fouls it off.
I think we've seen a lot from most of the teams in the Valley that these pitchers come in, they give you their best work, and then we've seen a lot of bullpen. We've seen a lot of pitchers come in from the bullpen that come in and save games, and I think the hitting has just been so good in the conference all season long. It's hard for pitchers to close out a game.
Here's the 2-2. We'll do it again. As you can tell, the sun is peaked out here at Dr. Charlotte West Stadium in Carbondale. Wind blowing left to right as we play in the 6th. Larson swings and fouls it off once again.
Well, Larson is certainly timing that pitch to spoil it. Not exactly where she wants it to be, where she can handle it and drive it, but just giving herself another chance to go in and tee it up against Verts.
Lifted into left, and Smith, who can cover a lot of ground, comes away with a grab.
Good job of covering the ground just off the edge of the bat. The end of the bat, I should say. Just a little floater, and good job of getting over to camp underneath it.
Now Hannah Meeks. 0 for 2 today. Swings, and this one will go foul.
Trying to go opposite field. They're doing a good job of location with all of these pitches.
Verts with the 0-1. There's a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. You can see working a lot of the outside edge here with these first 2 batters. You can see Smith in the center fielder shading over to left, and even Slockett, the left fielder, hugging that line out in left field.
There's a big gap out in right center. So they are shading, you're right, a little towards the left field side. But if you get a pitch that you can handle, you're going to be able to hit that gap and be able to cover a lot of ground, maybe even get a triple out of it, because there is a lot of room out there.
Ooh, inside and misses the plate. Count goes to 2-2.
Makes a second team All Missouri Valley Conference performer.
Fouls it off. Count stays at 2-2.
One of those players that is in the lineup at first, but if they need her, she has thrown some innings for them this season.
Hertz gets the strikeout.
An emphatic strikeout by Verts, and they went inside, and then they went right back outside. It got her swing right through it. It's a great location. Verts very emotional, excited about it, and that's what you want to see out of your pitcher. You get it. It's a crucial point in the game, and you just got a big strikeout.
First pitch is a strike to Ava Boris. She was the one that got the rally started in that 2-run 5th inning for the Redbirds. Bases cleared, 2 down, and takes that one for a ball, 1-1.
Verts has done a good job since coming in, shutting the door, halting that rally of the Redbirds.
Beautiful changeup.
That's a nasty pitch right there. And you could see that it did fool Ava Boyer.
She knew it, man. This is filthy.
That thing wiggled one way and wiggled back the other way.
Morgan with the 1-2 with 2 away. And a grounder up the middle. Smith goes to her left, and it's a 1-2-3 inning as we head to the bottom of the 6th here in Carbondale.
College softball fans, tune in to watch the NCAA Division I Softball Championship Selection Show.
Can you take me higher? Higher, higher. Can you take me higher?
Whether your day starts early or goes late into the night, brings the discovery of something new, or just the work of getting it done, it's all easier with a little help. At Great Southern Bank, we understand the importance of having a trusted, reliable support team who can offer you helpful resources and smart options to make the most of what you have and build on it, with possibilities that inspire you to keep going. Find your support team at GreatSouthernBank.com. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Since 1907, we've been one valley, united institutions with common goals, breaking down barriers and building up communities, and nurturing the next generation of leaders who care about more than just wins. MVC student athletes are leaving a lasting impact in the places they call home by sharing diverse perspectives and fostering a climate of unity for future Valley pioneers. We are one Valley.
Can you take me higher? Higher, higher. Can you take me higher?
Folks, a reminder, we will continue our coverage of the MVC softball tournament. Valley on ESPN. 6th seed Evansville takes on 3rd seed Murray State right here at Dr. Charlotte West Stadium here in Carbondale. And we'll get started with game number 2 at 3 Central Time. It's the Aces and the Racers in game 2 of 3. Our 3rd game is expected to start at 6 Central Time. And the team that loses this game will take on the team that loses in game number 2 today. Remember, double elimination again for the first time in 10 years here in the Valley Softball Tournament. Northern Iowa trying to add to a true run lead, and this one is lifted by Smith into center field for the first down. Paige McLeod stays in the circle for the Redbirds.
Well, Northern Iowa, again, they like to lift the ball. They like to hit it out of the ballpark, seeing if they can get that one more insurance run on the board and make it very tough for the Redbirds to come back.
Johnson stands in, been on base each of the times that she has seen McLeod, reached on that air in the second inning and singled back in the fourth. Fouled it straight back.
Really good power with that swing. Johnson, I think all these hitters, they just go up there and they swing away.
By the way, in that Illinois State 7th inning, it'll be 8-9-1 coming up for the Redbirds as they look for a rally. However, they need to get this bottom of the 6th taken care of and try to keep it a 2-run deficit as McLeod finds the outside edge for a strike, and she's head of the count 1-2.
She's been really good. You talked about it. Only 7 hits, 4 runs, couple of earned runs, 4 strikeouts, hitting spots, making some key pitches. And no walks. And that's a huge thing.
Massive, especially with the team that walks a lot.
Well, yeah, and they're smart at the plate. You don't put them on. And then you have the bombers that come up and make that walk turn into a run.
2 up, 2 down, and now the very hot Drew Hendricks, who has been on base each of her 2 times to the plate, singled with the 2 RBIs in the second and also had a double in the fourth. McLeod trying to set him down in order. She had 1, 2, 3 inning in the first. Otherwise, base runners in the second, third, fourth, and fifth inning for UNI against the right-hander.
As we talked about before, Hendricks battled that hip injury all season and had that labrum surgery in the off season, but Coach Jacobs said she kind of started to hit her groove about a third of the way through the season, and I'd say she's found that groove here today. Nice hitter at the bottom part of the lineup.
That one misses outside. The count goes to 2-1. And there's one on the inside edge, and that has been one of her bread and butter pitches, is finding that inside corner here today.
Yeah, that's been kind of her go-to pitch when she needed to get a strike. Has located it very well. It's always in tight, right on the hands.
This one lined into left, and there makes the catch is Flowers. 1, 2, 3, down goes UNI in the bottom of the 6th. It's the 7th inning for the Redbirds. They're down by 2. Here's the game, a presentation of State Farm, a proud partner of the Missouri Valley Conference. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Now Bella Atkinson, a couple of hits, double and a single, played very well out in the field and at the plate, produced. And then Drew Henricks, a couple of hits, a couple of RBIs at crucial times. Needed her to knock in some runs to give them the lead, and she has played very big for the Panthers today.
Ella Boyer leads off this do or die 7th inning for the Birds, down by 2. Boyer singled and scored her last time up in the 5th.
Done a good job of getting ahead of the hitters. It's one of the few times she didn't.
Hertz finds the strike zone again.
Got to try to figure out a way to get yourself on base if you're that leadoff hitter in Ella Boyer.
Hertz with a 1-2-3 6th. Boyer takes that one down low, 2-1.
And they do have Anna Wisnowski starting to casually get loose down there in the bullpen in case they might need her.
Verts, and this one is over the head of Smith, and it's a leadoff single for Ella Boyer.
Boyer's come up big, and a couple of hits just kind of like that, just out into the outfield. Able to start this rally here in the top of the 7th.
And we're going to get a pinch hitter as Taylor Liebelt will come in the 9th place to pinch hit with the runner on and nobody out in this 7th inning for Illinois State.
Liebelt came in and played when Wolford was out. Stepped into the lineup, so she has experience at the plate. Had a really nice game against Murray State, 2 for 4.
Takes the first one low for a ball.
Had a home run in that ball game, so she has home run power.
5 home runs total this season with 15 RBIs and a .265 batting average. Boyer the runner at first. The tying runs the plate. Nobody down here in the 7th. This one line, right into the mitts. Great play by Netton, the freshman, to grab the first out.
Boy, and that was a rope. And that's a freshman who has not played third base very much. She was a shortstop. We talked about that. She was a shortstop in high school. This is what you have to do at third base. Have that reaction time ready to go. Timed her jump just the right way, but that was headed for the fence. That was going to hug the line and get all the way to the wall.
Lauren Flowers, the leadoff hitter, takes the first one outside for a ball. 1 for 3 today. Singled and stranded at third in that 2-run 5th inning for the Birds. Boyer the runner at first, one down, top of the 7th. Illinois State down by 2 runs. This one lifted and it drops and no play. It's an infield single.
Boy, that's a tough one. You couldn't go out there and drop it any better than that. Benish wasn't sure. She kind of hesitated a little bit on it. Maybe thought that Verts was going to back up and pull that one in. Just a little fly ball, and Benish looks to see if they can get the runner at second, and good base running right there, reading that play and understanding that it was going to fall.
They call those Texas leaguers in the outfield. I don't know if that's a Texas leaguer in the infield. Nonetheless, that was in no man's land.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you call that one, and they are going to make a call to the bullpen as Wisnowski is going to come out and take over for Verts.
As Coach Jacobs wants to try to close this one out as his team is up by 2 runs. 2 runners on for Illinois State here in the top half of the 7th. All right, Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by Rawlings, the official softball of the Missouri Valley Conference, and the NCAA Championship. Rawlings, the mark of a pro.
Now, this is the pitcher that they've leaned on all this season for her entire career. She's a fifth-year player and has battled injuries, but she's a player that brings a little heat, and she is going to be the closer in this ball game.
Quick timeout is called by the third base umpire. And now we'll get going. Bella Atkinson sitting on 10 home runs. Leads Illinois State, takes the first one for a strike. Boyer is the runner at second. And the tying run over first is Flowers. One down, top of the seventh. Can you and I hold on and wait to play till tomorrow instead of tonight? Good pitch on the outside edge.
She doesn't take a whole lot of time. She gets that ball back. She's ready to step on the rubber and come after these hitters. She doesn't mess around.
By Atkinson, 1-2.
Woo-hoo. Boy, was that close. That's one, if you're the hitter, you're kind of holding your breath, hoping that the umpire doesn't ring you up.
Atkinson batting .395 heading into the tournament. Strike three, got her looking.
That was a really good sequence of pitches. Moved it all around the zone. You get a look at this pitch right on the outer part of the plate and gets Atkinson looking.
Morgan Calhoun is 0 for 3. And just a check swing and it fouls off.
As base runners, you know, you have 2 out now. Crack at the bat, you're moving. Picking up Coach Kramos at third to see if she's going to send you on a base hit.
Flowers represents the tying run at first. 2 down, 2 on. Calhoun swings and chops this one, and it is foul. And now, Wisnowski is a strike away of closing this one out for UNI. Boyer, the runner at second. Flowers, the runner at first, 2 down. Calhoun, the batter. Line foul down third base line.
Just inches away from being down the line and netting down there at third base, kind of hugging that line because you don't want to give up any doubles. And Johnson over there in left field, inching a little towards that left field line as well.
Here comes another 0-2. Chopper, Smith, bobbles it, and advancing on the air is Calhoun, and now the bases are loaded.
Runner going right in front of Smith might have caused a little distraction. Maybe took her eye off the ball as she went to field that one. It was a slow roller. Knew she was going to have to field it quickly and cleanly to get the out over at first. Right there, just maybe took her eye off of it, and it took a funny hop on her. And now the base is loaded.
Tatum Wolford, the cleanup hitter, fouls this one off. 1 for 3 today. Grounded out to first unassisted. Singleton was stranded at second in the 4th and struck out in the 5th. Bases are loaded. 2 down. Illinois State down by 2. Wolford takes one outside, 1-1. Flowers at second represents the tying run.
It was 4 for 12 against Northern Iowa with 1 home run and 4 RBIs.
There's a strike call, and again, Wisnowski is down to 1 more strike to close it out. Can she do it against the cleanup hitter for Illinois State?
She just took a little something off that last pitch.
Here's the 1-2. 2-2.
thinking that you might be able to get Wolford to go after a pitch, being a little hyped up and got a little adrenaline going, but a good job at the plate of holding off.
Wolford lines this one deep to left field. It is gone! Grand slam!
What a sequence as Wolford got a pitch that she was able to drive, and once it got up in the air, it was gone. And that is a grand slam to put the Birds on top, down in the zone, and able to generate the power to drive it to left field.
5th home run of the season for the cleanup hitter. RBIs 18, 19, 20, and 21. Probably Wolford's biggest hit of her career. Wow. And the Birds have taken the first lead of the game here in the top half of the 7th inning.
All kept alive because of the defensive mistake.
Larson fouls it off.
You know, and that was one of the things we talked to both coaches, and the keys to the game, both of them said, we have to play clean defensively. Illinois State had some defensive mistakes early to give up some runs to the Panthers, and here the defensive mistake comes back to haunt Northern Iowa. And you can never count out the Panthers, though, because they certainly have the bats to be able to climb back in.
1-2. And that's line, and that's going to drop. It'll get past the left fielder, and Larson will stand at second. 2-out rally continues for the Redbirds.
That's just off the end of the bat, going the opposite field, and just enough to drop it down in front of Johnson, and it sneaks by her to allow Larson to get to second base.
Second hit for Larson. The rally continues as the first baseman, Meek, stands in. Second team all-conference first baseman fouls this one off. Boyer with the leadoff single, then after an out, Flowers advances on a single, then a strikeout at Atkinson, then the error, as Laura pointed out, by the shortstop Smith, extended the inning, and then the grand slam by Wolford has given the Redbirds the lead. Now Meeks pulls it back on a bunt attempt, and the count goes to 1-1.
You know, if you go back to the 3-game series, all games were very much like this, where one team jumped out. In the first game, Illinois State jumped out 6-0, allowed Northern Iowa to come back in that ball game, able to hold them off. In the second game, Northern Iowa jumped out, allowed Illinois State to come back into it. And then we have the crazy third game where both, you know, you get the 13-run lead, Illinois State does, and then Northern Iowa comes back and forth.
This one lined into center field, rounding third, and Larson heading home for a little more insurance. 7-4 ISU.
That's a big run. That's a big run for Illinois State. Gives them that 3-run cushion right back up the middle. Just the timing on it was perfect. Got that little toe tap, kept the hands back and drove it right into center field.
Now the 9th batter of the inning with Ava Boyer. Grounds this one to short, but the damage is done. 5 runs for the Birds in the top half of the 7th. Northern Iowa coming to bat as they trail it by 3. Time for our play of the game, presented by Rawlings, the official softball of the Missouri Valley Conference and the NCAA Championship. Rawlings, the mark of a pro.
Well, I guess we're going to go with that grand slam as the play of the game. That Redbirds playing from behind the entire ball game. And in the top of the 7th, they played 4 of them on that grand slam.
Cam Page McLeod close it out for the Redbirds against the toughest lineup in all the Missouri Valley Conference. 9-1-2 due up. Netton, the freshman, will lead things off. Activity in the ISU bullpen. Graceland Kemp warming up among those. And that one misses inside.
And we have a new catcher in for Illinois State. Lexi Brinkman comes in for Bayla Bogner. Get a look at her, looking at the signal.
This one skied into left field. Back to the wall. Gone!
We knew we'd have fireworks, right? Just took them a while to heat up.
Netton with their 5th home run. And hold on, folks. We still got a ball game, and with that hit by Netton, the home run, that's the 455th hit for UNI, which ties a single season record that was hit back almost 30 years ago in 1997, and Netton got all of it.
Wow, she sure did. And you know, in that 9 spot, showing the power, just exactly what the Panthers needed to get them going here in the bottom of the 7th.
And Meshnick also warming up in the Illinois State bullpen. Now to the top of the lineup. Finish 0 for 3 against McLeod.
And it does not get any easier as you have Benish, Acton, and Lappy staring you in the face.
Rounder foul.
And that's how big that extra insurance run is for the Redbirds that they were able to get. In that 7th inning, they got that 5th run of the inning to give them a little extra space between them and the Panthers, but that gets erased very quickly with this UNI team at the plate.
Here is the 121st pitch of the afternoon by McLeod, and this one is skied deep into left field, back at the track, and Flowers will haul it in for the first out.
You have to hold your breath every time the ball goes up in the air off of a bat of Northern Iowa, because there is a little wind out there and there's a little jet stream carrying some of these balls. And you know that Northern Iowa, that's how they swing. They have that uppercut where they send the ball up into the air. And that's why they've hit so many home runs.
Bryn Acton hit our first home run of the afternoon. She has 6 against Illinois State this season. One run in, 1 out in this bottom half of the 7th. Cats are down by 2. Acton to Boyer, 2 down.
Got a good swing on it, but it just stayed down on the ground. No funny hops. Right over to Boyer. And you're down to your last out now, but you've got a good person at the plate in Lappy that can keep things going.
Doubled and scored in the 3rd, struck out in the 1st as well as the 5th inning. This one skied into center field, back straight away, gone! Another home run for Northern Iowa, and now they trail it by 1, 7-6 on the 21st home run of the season by Kate Lappy.
This is just amazing. This is how this team has so much power. And they never flinched. They knew they were down. They came up with the attitude at the plate, going, we have a shot at this. We know we're not out of this ball game, and 2 home runs have brought them closer. And again, just think how big that extra run is that Illinois State scored in the top of the 7th.
Caitlin Callahan, the cleanup hitter. She stands in against McLeod. Down by a run. Strike call. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th.
One of the things that McLeod has done so well, get ahead in the count.
Strike 2 on the outside corner.
Boy, that was a great pitch.
Cats are down to their final strike. Can they stay alive? Down 7-6 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Got to protect at the plate now.
Wooden chase, 1-2.
Trying to widen that strike zone a little bit more, but these hitters are so good with such good eyes at the plate. You can't get over anxious. Just have to protect as you stand in the box.
This one line, and it is a 2-out single. Callahan keeps it alive here at the bottom of the 7th for Northern Iowa.
Battled, and finally got a pitch that she could level off and drive into left field. I think we're going to get a pinch runner.
That'll be Adeline Reynolds that'll come in as a designated runner for Callahan.
Get a little extra speed on the base paths. If you get a gapper, you want to have the wheels in motion. See if you can try to score that runner from first on an extra base hit, and I believe Illinois State might be making a pitching change.
Tina Kramos has come out to talk it over with the home plate umpire, with Ava Smithson, the 5th place hitter, due up. And that'll be all for the afternoon for Paige McLeod after 6 2/3 innings in 128 pitches. As we'll have a pitching change, we'll tell you about it when we come back to Carbondale. Time for our Caldwell Bullpen. It is brought to you by Rawlings, the official softball of the Missouri Valley Conference, and the NCAA Championship. Rawlings, the mark of a pro.
Well, going to Hannah Meshnick, and she will show you a curve, a screwball, a rise ball, and she's got a really good changeup, which is key against hitters like this in the Panther lineup that like to swing hard and are free swingers. And she also is the all-time saves leader in the program. So they have gone to her to try to close this one out.
Redbirds plating 5 in the top half of the 7th. now with 2 solo shots in the bottom half of the 7th. Northern Iowa is within 1 with the tying run at first base. And now standing in is Ava Smithson, the center fielder who missed some time because of an injury earlier in the season, came back and has been a big part of this potent lineup for Coach Jacobs. Can she keep it alive here for Northern Iowa? First pitch for Meshnick misses inside for a ball.
And as she got back in their Valpo series, and what did she do in her first at bat?
Home run.
Yes, she sure did. So she has got home run power.
And that one lifted, and Atkinson is there, and the Redbirds get the comeback and the victory. Meshnick with the save, but the Birds bounce UNI into the losers bracket with an incredible comeback of 5 runs in the top half of the 7th inning.
I think it was a typical game that we saw throughout the 3 regular season games. A little back and forth, a lot of power, a lot of home runs showed up late. And the Redbirds able to get the big blow late in the ball game. But tell you what, you can never count out the Panthers. They made it close, and they got the Redbirds got that all-important extra insurance run to help them win this ball game in advance.
All right, Laura, let's take a look at the bracket now as game 1 is in the books. And what a start to this softball tournament championship here in Carbondale. Coming up, game number 2 will start in just under an hour as Murray State will take on Evansville. Now, it will be Belmont, the regular season champs, taking on Illinois State. Meanwhile, tonight, it will be Northern Iowa taking on the loser of the Racers and Aces with Tom Ackerman, and Holly Hesse will have the call coming your way in just under an hour. Congratulations to Tino Kramos and the Illinois State Redbirds as they come back and defeat the Northern Iowa Panthers by a final of 7-6. Laura Leonard, our Valley on ESPN, executive producer Jack R. Watkins, and our entire Tupelo Hunting crew. I'm Scott Warman. We're coming back at 3:25 for game 2 between the Racers and Aces and the Valley on ESPN.